I have a couple of teams, and I have an idea of where you might go. So I'm going to start with the number one loser in this offseason, the Giants. Are you kidding me? You signed Daniel Jones to $160 million. And then you went out and signed a 30-year-old tight end who's been hurt the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And then what did you do in the draft? Who did you draft? Nothing special at all. Was not impressed with the Giants whatsoever. I think the Giants absolutely lost the offseason because you signed the worst offseason contract in NFL history. Is it worse than Russell Wilson? We'll find out. So I got to pick the Giants for one of the offseason losers. You signed Daniel Jones. You locked him up for 4 years. You signed Darren Waller, who's 31 now and has been banged up. And nothing special in the draft. I mean, you got a weapon in Darren Waller. Congrats. But, not impressed with the Giants at all with what they did.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the Giants, you hit the nail on the head. You trade for Darren Waller, who has not been the same. He's got, if you want to talk about guys getting bag fever, where you give them this bag of cash, and they get that cheddar cheese, and then all of a sudden they're lactose intolerant and they're not on the field anymore. Well, Darren Waller, not on the field anymore, is pretty inconsistent. He'll give you maybe 4 to 8 good games a year, but even in Vegas, it was very inconsistent whether or not he was going to play. And there was a situation where Austin Eckler played 1 full year with the Chargers and they were really good. And I was or Keenan Allen. And I was like, Keenan Allen playing the whole time is not the norm, even though he plays more than Darren Waller. So it's basically the equivalent of trading for a player like that. And he's a lot older than his age. I feel like he's definitely older than that. And then you don't really upgrade at receiver, which is really concerning for the Giants. And then you had a good draft, and I think their defense will definitely be really good again next year. But I feel like people are going to figure out this Daniel Jones offense, and we have the tape on what they want to run, know what he likes to do, and if no one they drafted really steps up at wide receiver, you're not going to make it past the wild card round.
Plus, they lost their starting center, too. So their offensive line's going to take a step back, which means their run game could suffer. Plus, Saquon is holding out. So we'll see what happens with him. They just signed a massive contract for Dexter Lawrence. So I just think this Giants team last year, they're similar to how the Vikings won 13 games last year, despite winning 11 close games. It's the Giants last year, it was very much sort of a magical year. They got their playoff win. They had their first big season in the last decade. And it's a lot of it kind of goes down to luck, dare I say it. And I think that this Giants team is going to take a step back.